Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So nice we are here. Back again. And today we're going to do our last meditation on karma. Very important, you know? So we had opportunity last week understand a little bit that karma kind of like, grows, that we cannot experience something that we haven't created the causes for. So, when something goes wrong, we cannot say, why me? But say, oh, okay, me, okay? We need to know it was us. And then we also saw that, karma um, continues, if we don't stop it. So that means definitely we're gonna experience the result. It's kind of like it doesn't get lost, as we say, and that karma is definite. That in the way that if we create positive intentions, we're gonna have positive results. If we create, destructive, negative intentions, then we're gonna create negative results for ourselves. And then we meditated a bit on the 10, like, or some of the constructive actions, realizing how we also have done nice things for us to be able to be experiencing, what are we experiencing. That is very important, that we understand that the good aspects of our lives right here, they are, not also without a cause, and they are not also because, someone else did it for us, but we did it, we created the conditions for us to have the good conditions we have. And then on Monday, we did purification practice. So we meditated on how we could purify our negative deeds to make sure that those seeds are burned, the negative ones, so they don't create the result. It's like when you kind of like you're planting a seed, it's very common, like, when you go, well, I don't know, like nowadays, because nobody knows how things are planted. So, but if you put a seed in and you leave and the sun burns the seed, then the seed loses its power for growing. So it's a little bit like that. So today we're going to do a little bit of a mix in some ways, which is going to be understanding the results of karma, and especially the two main aspects of the results of karma, okay? One of them is that the intention that we put, the more we put an intention, but not only the intention sometimes, because we're not like conscious about the intention, but the more we do a certain action, okay, or we say something, the more we create the habit to continue doing it again and again and again and again. So for example, the more we lie, the more we have the tendency of lying in a completely uncontrolled, unconscious way. But not only this, so this is one of the results that the why is so important for us to pay attention to what to do, because we create the habit of doing it. But most important is that we create the result, as we say, similar to our experience. So what does it mean? It means that if we lie to others, we gonna receive, or people will lie to us. Okay? So that is the two aspects of karma, very important. So that's what we're gonna do today. Okay? And we're gonna try to do it thinking about things that we have done with our speech, because speech is kind of like, honestly, it's a, well, at least for us, I think that we don't use so much our bodies to harm others so much, but it's the way that we harm others the most, okay, with things that we say. So that's why we're going to try to have a look today. So let's start. Let's find a comfortable posture, making sure we find a posture that is the same time making us relax, but at the same time making us aware. Meditation is not about being, empty-minded, but it's actually a very awakened mind. Just make sure to check if your back is as straight as possible. Shoulders, neck, jaw relaxed, arms. And we can leave the eyes a little bit open if we want to have some light coming in. So we can kind of like stabilize our posture and start checking in how we are doing this morning. How is our mind, our state of mind, our mood? Just check, observe it. Don't get involved in stories or just observing it. Now, from wherever we are, we just try to create then intention. Try to direct our conscious intention for us to be here meditating on karma, its results that help us to understand how we create our own happiness and our own suffering. Give us the power, empower ourselves to watch, change, and transform our behaviors of body, speech, and mind, so we can eliminate the negative actions and negative tendencies, habits, and we can develop more and more the positive ones. And with these, we not only create less suffering, but more happiness for ourselves, but we also don't stop harming others with our body, speech, and mind, and can even help them. So try to create that intention. And with that intention, then we start to bring our attention to the breath. Before we analyze our tendencies, we need to calm the mind, stabilize it, concentrate it, focus it. So we bring the attention to the breath, the subtle sensations that the air leaves every time that that the air comes out from our nostrils. We don't change the way we breathe, just observe it. Become aware when we get distracted by thoughts, memories, opinions, but also sensations, feelings, noise, smell. We try not to get involved in the story that they create. And through mindfulness, we remember to really bring the attention back to the breath again and again. At least for the next 5 minutes, just make an effort. Now that we focus and concentrated our minds a bit better, we start to use this concentration and focus to analyze karma. And especially we can say that we can analyze the results of karma in terms of our actions, which means that each action that we perform causes us to form a habitual behavior, a habitual pattern. So the more we do it, the more we develop the habit of doing it. So let's try to observe how this happens, maybe with our speech. We say that, we have habits of lying when we deliberately deceive others. We have divisive speech causing disharmony. We have harsh words, insulting, abusing, teasing, hurting others. And we have idle talk or gossiping. So we do all of these. But try to check which ones are the most strong in you. And try to observe that aspect of becoming habituated to doing more and more. Maybe bring to mind a situation when you could see you either lying, being divisive, or being abusive or insulting, or just gossiping. Think about the last time you did something like this. You could observe you were doing it. Not only this, but see how not only you create this habit of doing it, how you create that idea that, well, if I did it once, I can do it twice. And how this becomes a pattern, a way of reacting or acting towards a certain situation. Maybe you lied and you saw that it worked and you just continue doing it. Maybe you insulted someone and you just continue insulting and abusing others. Maybe you just like to gossip and complain, you know. Then every time you meet someone or that friend, it's always easy to do it. There's no seeing how harmful this is for you and others. So check for a moment. And we don't think that doing these things has any direct relationship with us suffering from these things. So just bring to mind, the last time that someone lied to you and how it felt when you discovered, or maybe you knew. Just think about it for a moment, how it was, this experience. And not only this, think about it. Also, when someone has been insulting you or hurting you with their words, how did it feel? Think about it. Remember how it feels. And think about as well, how did you feel when you heard that someone was gossiping about you? When people are talking badly behind your back. How did you feel? These things didn't happen without a cause. Not because people are bad and you were exempt of anything, but you created the causes for experiencing that by lying, by insulting, hurting others' feelings, gossiping about others. So the next time that you feel inclined to engage into something like this, just try to remember how does it feel for you when others do that with you, when you are lied to, when you are abused, hurt by their speech. Just think about it and try to avoid it as much as possible. So come to this conclusion that you're going to try to really apply this in your daily life. You're going to try to apply this knowledge not only with your speech, but also with your body, and especially with your mind, of judging others, thinking bad about others, complaining in your mind. Just think that whatever you think is going to happen to you, the same thing, how it will be. Try to create a strong determination to be mindful of your mind and your intentions and your habits, trying to avoid as much as possible these negative actions of body, speech, and mind, and try to replace them with their opposite. Instead of lying, telling the truth. Instead of using harsh words, using kind, warm words. Instead of gossiping, talking good, well about others. So with that, we dedicate that anything that we have been able to get from meditating on karma, may we use in our daily lives, in every actions of our day-to-day activities, making sure that we are decreasing our negative tendencies and behaviors and creating more and more positive ones so we can stop harming others and ourselves, but also benefit others and benefit ourselves by having positive results from our positive actions. So we dedicate for that. And we can relax the posture, open our eyes. It's not always easy to hear these things, right? I think. I really like this idea always to meditate on karma and to say, oh, everything that I am experiencing, I have done and I do to others. And that's the reason why I'm experiencing them. I always say it's a slap or it's a bucket of cold water in our pride. So that's good. It's very, very good. So just keep that in mind, okay? Especially throughout this week. keep that. When you're gonna see yourself doing something, saying something, thinking something, like, doing something, just say, "Ooh, no, no, I don't want to suffer this. I don't want to, receive this. I don't want someone to speak like that to me. So I'm gonna change the way I speak to others." Okay? I hope that this was in any way beneficial. I see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you.